Hey guys, I'm back. I don't know how to leave well enough alone, clearly. So I've added a few updates to the level that I had posted earlier. There's a couple things that you're, I'm sure, seeing right now. First of all, the snow has improved. I've got actual flakes now. But you'll notice another thing about the snow, which is that it's not sticking to the ground anymore. That is because when I use a flake like this, it just looks a little weird. It looks like it's sticking to the ground standing up. So not exactly what I would hope for. So I'm actually going to ask you guys which you would prefer. This kind of stylized snowflake that looks nice but doesn't stick to the ground, or the less stylized one that does stick to the ground. You can go back to the previous video to check that out. So if you have any preferences, go ahead and leave them down in the comments. I'd love to hear that, and I'll go with whichever one people decide they want. But moving on, there's some other things in the screen. First of all, or I guess not first of all, I already talked about the snow. But you'll notice that the environment actually looks different. The texture that was on the ground before was just super quickly slapped on. That entire terrain was using one texture. This is a little bit more sophisticated. I'm using a higher res texture, first of all, higher res textures, because I have snow here. I've got multiple types of snow, rocks in the background, all sorts of things. You'll see more as I move around. But there's also these brachyphytes blowing in the breeze. I would have used pagophytes. I don't have a billboard for those. Ooh, gotta get out of the way. There we go, let him go on by. But those are some of the changes there as well. Another thing you may notice is that I no longer have snow on the tops of things. So this or this over here, and I know you guys are wondering about my movement and that it's different. I know, I'll talk about that in a moment. But yeah, the leaves, for lack of a better word, on the xylophytes. Oop, we just got bull rushed by a thylacolpod. But the leaves, the red parts of these, I'm no longer shading those with snow, specifically because I am using a different render pipeline. So rather than using what's called the shader graph, which is what I was using before, I'll have to actually learn how to write shaders. So another thing I'm asking you guys is if anybody knows where there is a good tutorial for learning how to write shaders in Unity. I would love to hear about that, so send those my way. All right, I guess I'll go ahead and take a look around now. As you can see, I've got a different camera controller here. You can look down, look up, look around. You can move around, you can strafe. You can see I've improved, or rather, some of the other lovely people here at the TIRA game have improved the models for the thylacopods there, for all the creatures actually. But yeah, my textures are better. I've got variation in the xylophyte quote-unquote tree sizes, more interesting terrain here. And you may have noticed also that the thylacopods are a little less glitchy. They don't tend to fly around. But yeah, that's it. Basically the same as it was before, nothing groundbreaking here. But I couldn't leave it as just the way it was before. I had to improve it somehow. So this is the new and improved version, and I'm sure we will be adding things from here. A few things that I plan on adding in would be 3D snow. So I'd love to have some 3D snow in here that you can actually walk through and deform. So that's a thought project, something I'll be thinking about and looking into for the next couple of days. I'm also looking at making the ground scatter interactable, so I can have my thylacopods actually eating it and then having that regrow and having some sort of interaction with the environment here. So those are kind of some of the things I'm looking for towards the future. If anyone has any ideas, feel free to leave those in the comments as well. But yeah, just another quick little update with the nicifying of this playtest level. Thanks for watching.